Our media will get started with head coach Derek Fisher. We'll start with Adam Grossbart, LA Daily News.
Hey, Derek, after the team, sets the goal every year to compete for a championship, just how disappointing is it to have the season end just one game into the playoffs?
Well, I think it's disappointing as a competitor anytime your season ends without winning a championship. For different reasons, it can be disappointing, but, we have players in this locker room that's been to Game 5 of the WNBA Finals and lost. So I can tell you from experience, it doesn't feel much better than this to get that far and lose. Regardless of when you're out of the postseason, we're out. So that's disappointing. But, I think unlike any other season, our players just deserve still credit and positive energy and support for just even being in this position. There are a lot of reasons why, we would not or could not have even been here. And so for the team to stay together long enough to put ourselves in position to, have a chance to advance tonight, they still deserve a lot of credit. They were amazing this year. We just, we ran out of steam towards the end of the season. We lost a few bodies, and it just, we just haven't been able to get ourselves back over the last couple of weeks. And that happens during, certain seasons. And, it's not our time at the moment. But we'll come back and be better for it. And that's all we can do at the moment.
Michelle Vopel, ESPN.
Yeah, Coach, I guess how much did it hurt not having NECA? Did that sort of take the wind out of your sails? Because it just didn't – it seemed from the beginning you guys weren't able to do what you wanted to offensively. Yeah,
well, NECA does, a lot for us as a team on both ends of the court. And, her efficiency offensively, especially on a night where it was really difficult to find some rhythm on that end of the floor. That could have helped us. She's obviously a really good defender and rebounder, but I think most importantly, her presence from a leadership standpoint, I think it kind of helps our team to stay centered. Sometimes we get a little frenetic and we get anxious and we try to hurry up and do things. And a lot of times NECA can help just, keep us calm and stable. But, she obviously, for her discomfort to grow and over the last day or two, and get to a point where, she just wasn't able to get out there. I think that just tells you how difficult this year has been for her and for everybody here. So we just want our players to know how much we love them. And we're like, the world tries to define you by wins and losses. And as an athlete, we fall into that trap. We start to think that our identity is wrapped up in whether we won this many awards or this many titles. And this is still a human business. And, our hope is just that a lot of these women's lives were changed and positively impacted by going through this experience in 2020 with this unit that, this may never happen again. And so we're just thankful for everybody's effort.
John W. Davis, Winsider.
Hey, Coach, 2 questions. How would you grade the team's competitive spirit tonight? And then also, you had about 20 or 25 minutes after the game. Is there even the smallest part of you that is, ready to admit that, you're ready to leave the bubble or leave the bubble?
Yeah, I think the first question, I think the competitive spirit was there. I think it's difficult if you can't channel that spirit or that fire, right, or that performance anxiety into being able to execute the most basic fundamentals and details of playing the sport. And, good screening, good passing, good cutting, communication on defense, like just some of those things that, that cause breakdowns. And, when you're really, really fatigued, and just having a hard time staying mentally engaged from start to finish, it just starts to catch up to you, even if you're trying hard. And I thought that our players, their intentions were good. They tried to make the plays, they tried to make the shots, tried to do things, but it just wasn't happening and coming together in a way that allowed us to really have a chance to win this game. And, you know, it's unfortunate, you know, that it happened that way, and it'll feel really bad. But, you know, again, we just have to, you know, I think take the information, learn from it. We obviously have a lot of decisions to make, you know, as a team and as an organization moving forward. But, you know, tonight it's really about thanking these players for making the sacrifice to even be here for this long. I mean, you know, in terms of leaving here, you know, after this, like, yeah, I mean, I think all of us are, you know, at a place in life where, as much as you love the game, you know, the people in your life are really what you end up valuing the most. And some of those people are your teammates that you've been with for a few months now. And, you know, a lot of those other people are your family and your loved ones. So, you know, we'll get through tonight and prepare ourselves to, you know, return to our respective homes here over the next day or so. And, you know, I think first and foremost, just take some time to ourselves individually. Like, this has been really, really hard for everybody. And, you know, I don't think that anybody is making excuses. I'm definitely not. You know, we wanted to win. We expected to win, but we didn't. And so, you know, we'll have to go home and take some time to ourselves, and then start to come back together and figure out, you know, what 2021 looks like, and how to start preparing for that season.
Howard Megdal, next Hoops.
Thanks. Derek, congratulations on the season that you did have. I guess I'm wondering, when the format is set up in such a way that you can have a year that you've had where you're the third best team by record in this league, you're a couple of shots, a couple of calls away from maybe even being better than that record-wise, and it's 40 minutes. You know, it's a situation where NECA can develop a migraine, a thing that's debilitating, obviously, but temporary. And that's enough for a season to be ended in a single game. Whether you think that's the right format for this league, or whether for teams, and it's not the first time, a team that finished in third place in this league has one game to prove themselves in the playoffs, whether that needs to be looked at and changed.
Yeah, and I think it's a fair question. I do believe it's something that, you know, teams and GMs, coaches, presidents, I think have talked about. It seems like historically, since the league has gone to this format, you know, obviously the 1 and 2 seeds typically make it to the finals. You know, the double bye seems to be the all important, you know, kind of thing to get in terms of the format overall. Yeah, I mean, I think that in order to, you know, reward teams for putting together a really good season from start to finish, yeah, maybe there is something to look at, you know, around creating a different playoff format. But, you know, that conversation goes back into have we done enough so that people will watch those additional games, right? If the WNBA playoffs start with the 3-game or 5-game series, round 1, 2, 3, and 4, have we prepared and conditioned men and women around the world to actually want to watch women's basketball that much? And so I think that says more about us collectively as a society than it does the women that play in this league. Because, yeah, they should have more than one night to prove that, you know, they are a good basketball team. But it is what it is at the moment. You know, we knew that coming into it tonight. And, you know, Connecticut deserves the credit for being able to advance.
Time for 2 more with Coach. We'll go to Doug Feinberg, AP.
Hey, Coach. I hope that no one has to go through another season like this in the world, and hopefully this is a one-time deal for everybody with the bubble. I know you've probably played on some teams where the window was sort of closing after a season was over, but you guys have still, I would think, a pretty bright window for winning championships, knowing that you have Christy and Chanae and Maria and whoever else you have for next year. You got a chance to see some people this year who may be on the bubble for you for next year. How do you feel? I know it's a while away, but this team has a future. I would think that's pretty good with what you have coming back for next year and years beyond.
Yeah, no, I think that we have to be determined in that way. You win a championship, the next day you're thinking about winning it again. And so I think tonight, as much as this hurts and it's disappointing, the determination and the focus that we'll start to develop on what next year looks like and the roster and some of the moves that, we'll have to make. And, I think as much as anything, the players that will be returning and obviously Candace was able to get back to a really high level this year. And as far as we know, she plans to be back next year. So, yeah, we're excited about our future, I think, in terms of our roster. But I think we still have to really push to make sure that every person within our organization from top to bottom, every player, that we are all, living out the example of what it is we all want to be in terms of the excellence, the way we work together, the way we communicate, the striving to be the best. And we have to find a way to do that, I think as a team and, as a coach in terms of whether it's the draft or, trades, free agency, et cetera, finding a way to make sure, we build a really good and balanced team. But, that's a long time away, from now, but it is definitely a fair question. And, it won't take us long to, start to think about how we all can be better coming back for next year.
Last question for Coach Pavy, HMB Media.
Hey, Coach. Throughout the struggles tonight, I felt like, Candace was the one constant all night, not even really with just her points, but just her leadership. I guess, could you just, talk about just her as a leader and just what she's meant to this team all season?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that Candace deserves a lot of the credit for us even having the opportunity to be here tonight because in a very unusual set of circumstances and with so much unpredictability with whether this season was even going to happen, the way it was going to happen, the format, the single site bubble scenario, for her to find ways to stay healthy and stay in good shape, prepare herself to have the type of season that she had for us. It just says a lot about who she is and how bad she wanted to give our team a chance to win a title this year. And so, yeah, her leadership was key, not just tonight, but, throughout the entire season. And you need your best players to lead, not just statistically, in the box scores, but from a personality standpoint, the leadership style, the way we communicate with each other. All of those things are important. I thought Candace did as good a job as you can possibly do under these circumstances, trying to push our team over the top. And, we couldn't get it done. I don't know if there's anything else she could have done. I know we all can be better. Like I told our players, I'm going to spend the entire offseason figuring out how I can get better. And that's all everybody can do at the end of a season, regardless of the outcome. I think Candace will find a way to be even better next year than she was this year. And, that's something exciting to look forward to as well.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Appreciate everything, everybody.
All right, questions for Candace Parker. We'll start with Chris Camello, Nightfall Media.
Hi, Candace. Obviously a really disappointing night. From the time that you guys knew that NECA was going to be out, what was your particular mindset in trying to galvanize this group and do what you can against a surging Connecticut team? What was your mindset and what were you trying to do?
We were trying to win. That's what we were trying to do. I think we've had a next up mentality all season. We weren't sure if we were going to have Sid or TRP, and they were able to go tonight. So, I don't know if it changed our mindset as much as we just knew we went over their sets. We kept the routine that we normally have going into games like this.
Amanda Skurlock, LA Sentinel.
Hi, Candace. My question is just there's so much going on this season in general with social justice, being in the bubble. What do you feel like just getting through this season says about your mental toughness personally?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you put me in any situation, I'm going to try to make the best of it. And the wobble wasn't so bad. Obviously we had an agenda to talk about social justice and to say her name and to bring awareness to the need for everybody to get out and vote in November. And it was bigger than basketball, obviously. But we were here with a purpose too, to play basketball. And I don't know. I'm gonna have to have time to reflect on it. It just sucks that we lost. That's kind of what I'm thinking about right now.
Howard Megdal, next Hoops.
Well, thank you. Candace, despite the loss, congratulations on the season that you just put together. Obviously, you have some decisions ahead of you in the next few months as you figure out where you want your basketball career to continue. You started your career with Lisa, who played only with the Sparks. I wonder, do you think about your legacy in those terms, and will that affect, and if not, what other things may affect your thinking about what you want to do in 2021 and beyond?
Honestly, it's weird. I feel like you blink and you end up going from the rookie to the vet. I can remember my rookie year when Sophia Young, she hit that bank shot off the glass and kept us from going to the finals. I remember Brittany Griner's turnaround jump shot on our home court to send them to the Western Conference Finals. I can remember, our play against Minnesota where we came up short. Can remember Game 5 going back to Minnesota in 2017. We could have won in Game 4. It's all these what ifs, and honestly, it's the what ifs that I feel as though others define players as. And for me, I think there's a thin line between, making plays. I mean, we look at a number of athletes, and we praise them when they're winning and all that. And I mean, look at Jokic. He's getting the highest praise. Last year he sucked. I'm not gonna be. My decision isn't gonna be determined by what other people think. I've played with LA for 13 years. I'm loyal, and I never say never, but at the same time, been with Adidas my entire career. Stayed at Tennessee when things got hard. I don't quit, and I would rather not quit than take the easy way out any day. And that's what it's about. I mean, if I answered your question.
Michelle Vopel, ESPN.
Yeah, Candace, I know you said you sort of have a next up mentality, but how long before the game did you find out that NECA couldn't go? And how did it take the wind out of your sails a little bit, no matter how much you probably didn't want it to, because it just didn't seem like from the first quarter you guys looked like yourselves?
I think we had prepared for a little bit of time that she might not go. I don't know if it was confirmed before the game or whatnot, but I think we kind of knew. I'm not going to take that we, were caught off guard and that's why we came out in the first quarter. No, we played 3 terrible games in the season. We went from all season not losing 2 in a row to losing 3 straight. So honestly, I don't think we can blame that on why we started the first quarter. I know everybody, we can talk about defense, and that's what we're supposed to do. And but it's our offense. We didn't score. It was 8-22 in the first quarter. It's not like they scored 40 points in the first quarter and we just couldn't stop them defensively. Like, we scored 8 points in the first quarter. So we can't even blame, you know, we've sucked the last 3 games.
Doug Feinberg, AP.
Candace, does it help on hearing your answer to Howard's question a little bit that you know that the window's not closing on LA? I mean, Christy was coming here. You're excited for that. She'll be hopefully playing next year. Shanae will be back. Maria will be back. There'll be other people. I mean, the future is bright for this team. It's not like this is the end of a run or an era for you guys. There is obviously a lot of players that are pieces that will help this team hopefully get over the hump. Is that something that you think you will consider when you decide to consider what you want to do?
It's been 13 years of the future being bright. Like, at some point we gotta put it together. Let this interview, like, I want to be in LA. I've been in LA my entire career. I've had a number of opportunities and a number of times where it's been a real option to leave, and I don't want to leave LA. But at the same time, like, we got to get better. We can't keep saying next year.
Time for 2 quick more. We'll go to Dorothy Gentry, New York Times.
Candace, hi. Thanks for your time. What would you change if you could replay the season? What one thing would you change?
I think we kind of hit a speed bump in that Washington game. And it's crazy how, like, at the time you don't know how moments define seasons. But I do feel like that Washington game kind of changed the trajectory of our season. Sure, everybody watched The Last Dance and saw the shit they went through all season. So it's not impossible to turn things around, but, you know, there's energy that you have to have and you have to carry forward. And I think our energy kind of changed after that Washington game.
Last question, John W. Davis, Winsider.
I see you chose to wear your left foot, right foot, breathe, repeat shirt. In this moment, and I know you have the tattoo and everything, like, in this moment, what does that mantra mean to you?
You know, I'll be honest. I think the thing I'm most proud about this season, and I know, you know, Coach Summit's most proud about, is leading the league in rebounding. She's always on me about rebounding. And so I wore this for her because she's always in my heart. And I still believe what she says, you know, offense sells tickets, defense wins games, rebounding wins championships. And, you know, she's always on my heart and she always will be, no matter how long it is or at what point and what stage. I'm going to celebrate her in the losses as well as in the wins. So I thought it was appropriate to wear the shirt today.
Thank you so much, Candace.
Thank you.
All right, questions? Hey, Chelsea. Questions for Chelsea Gray. We'll start with Sabrina Merchant, SB Nation.
Hey, Chelsea. Even in the loss, what can you say about the performance of Candace to lead this team, you know, in this game and throughout the course of the season?
You know, she's great. She exudes greatness. She puts it all out there on the floor. It's amazing to be her teammate and to be able to see her pride, her the way she approaches every game, the way she approaches life. And you saw that and you felt that throughout the game tonight. We didn't get the win, but she's greatness, full up. I'm gonna keep saying that until people really understand that. But it's a blessing to be her teammate.
Sukni Nguyen, LA Times.
Chelsea, just a struggle for you today, not only scoring, but kind of assisting. You didn't get any assists. So what were they doing that made it so difficult for you, especially because you had some success against them in the regular season?
Just throwing bodies. You know, I would come off of a down screen and there would be 3 people. I would come off a pick and roll, there would be 2 people. So just always showing a crowd, no matter, you know, where I was on the floor, whether it be post-ups, but all over the floor. That was, you know, you can tell that was, you know, what they had talked about and discussed. And, you know, credit to them for making it difficult on me.
Doug Feinberg, AP.
Chelsea, I know it's obviously disappointing, but just talk for a second. I mean, there was so much more than just basketball that you guys were playing for this year. I mean, your shirt does something. Just what the good that came out of the bubble in the season for you guys off the court, as opposed to obviously what happened tonight on the court.
Yeah, the bubble is unreal. Like, being able to compete at a high level and be in a bubble, not be able to get outside, not be able to see our family and friends, play without fans. Being in this bubble and coming here, we had a bigger, greater purpose with the Say Her Name campaign. You know, police brutality, injustices against Black and brown people, letting people know, engaging with people and telling the importance of voting, completing the census. You know, all that came with this season. We had a responsibility to, you know, inform the public, inform people around us, to be able to, you know, leave a legacy and leave this place better than we found it for the younger generations. And we were playing for a bigger purpose. We all came here knowing we were playing basketball and, you know, we wanted to win a championship, be it put in the best position possible to win a championship. But outside of that is just so much more. And at our core, you know, it's a human issue. And I think our points and our talks and being able to have those type of conversations was important throughout this season.
Howard Megdal, Max Hoops.
Chelsea, congratulations on the season you've had both on and off the court. I know it's a tough loss tonight, obviously, but I'm wondering, and Candace talked a bit about this as well, when you think about 2021, when you think about the future in LA, they're going to have some decisions to make, but you're going to have some decisions to make as well. And I'm wondering where your head is at about that right now, moving forward with the Sparks.
I can't even think about it right now. I mean, I'm still hurt about this season. I mean, we lost 20 minutes ago. I mean, I can't even, you know, really respond to 2021. I think we got to get through this year, find a way to get better on and off the court, and come back next year even better, even greater. But right now, it's just a lot of hurt and pain. You know, we made it this far to have, you know, for us to be going home. It hurts. So I'm not even really thinking about next year at all.
Last question for tonight. We'll go to John W. Davis, Winsider.
Hi, Chelsea. Thank you so much for your time. How would you grade your competitive spirit in this game? And then also, is there, you know, a part of you that is ready to leave the bubble, or the wubble as we call it?
I'm always going to compete. I mean, it didn't happen for me tonight. I'm always going to compete. I hate losing. I don't know how to give that a grade. It could be A+, because I'm always going to try to do my best every time I step on the court. There's been times in which, you know, I didn't know if I was going to continue this game because of injuries or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to try to compete. So
Thank you, John.
I mean, I'm not excited leaving the bubble because we didn't leave the way we wanted to leave. It'd be nice to see family and things, but we came up short, and that's going to hurt for a while.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you.